partnerships with GP and finance on launching agile initiatives, informal agile training and on-job coaching to third agile team, Pat Scrumbacks. Pat Scrumbacks completed their first practice sprint, coordination with the newly launched agile initiative from Chale's department. EIM identified the fourth project, PDW DTAP, to be executed in Agile. Informal on-site Agile training to PDW team, EIM, and stakeholders from DTAP team. On-job coaching to fourth Agile team, PDW DTAP. Assessment of Agile execution for big data projects. Initial informal training was conducted for team members. Breakfast and learn session on Agile. Now here in this case, we have a situation where we can see where we need to put word stress in these words. Here I've highlighted the two-syllable nouns and adjectives, and we know basically the rule for that in English is that when you have a noun or adjective that has two syllables, most of the time the stress is in the first part of the word. For instance, finance, as we see here. And then we move on to agile, training, scrumbacks, practice, newly, agile, project, on-site, training, coaching, projects, training. Again, members, that's because that's a noun. Breakfast and session. Remember, it's important to really stress the first part. Otherwise, what happens is that it's not going to be clear to your listeners, simply for the fact that it needs to have that part stressed. It needs to really be stand out and be clear. Otherwise, it'll be finance, agile, practice. And those things do not stand out, and it's not clear, and it sounds sometimes a little bit too fast to native English speakers. And so you really want to hit the first part of it: finance, practice, projects right here, projects, and training. Now, one of the things that will help in being more clear and easier to be understood for English listeners is to really focus on where word stress happens. Again, stress is within a word itself. Emphasis is within a sentence, but stress is within the word. And here we have a situation where you have multiple syllable words like initiatives, coordination, execution, initial. And sometimes what happens is we say these with the wrong kind of stress. Initiative, initial, for instance, this one, initial, or execution. And what happens is that doesn't sound clear to our listeners. And so there's a few rules here when you're looking at multiple syllable words that we're trying to relay. And some of these are really based on the fact that you have certain suffixes here. And see if you can take a look at some of these rules here. For instance, this is right here on the left, that's coordination. Usually when you have the tion there, it will be that vowel prior to that suffix. Notice how the A is stressed here due to the suffix here. That makes the word shun. So coordination here again, in assessment of agile execution. The U here is stress, isn't it? Again, why? Because it's before this suffix right here. That's the vowel right before the suffix. So it's not going to be execution. It's going to be execution, and that has to really stand out. Again, you have the IAL suffix here. And so you'll stress that I before it because that's before the suffix. Initial. You'll have it here as well. Initiative. Initiatives. And so make sure that these words, the primary stress is really clear. Otherwise, we'll sound a little bit too fast and we won't be clear. What your English listeners are looking for is a clear primary stress. Here, the middle I, initiative. Here, the A is stressed before the suffix. Coordination. Here, the U, again before the suffix, is stressed. Execution. Here with initial, is stressed because of the suffix IAL. Initial. Thank you very much.